Hello and welcome back to Mindful Sojourn. I am Janie. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for being here. I hope you like what you find and I hope you'll stick around for more. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for your continued support. I really do appreciate it. If you saw my recent videos, I did a short series on turning a cereal box into a junk journal. So if that is of interest to you, go check that out. I also have some photography DIY tutorials, and today I'm going to do something a little different. So with fall being literally right around the corner, Sunday is the autumnal equinox, the first day of fall. So I thought I would get into the spirit and make some decorations. So I have never been one to really decorate for every season. I generally just decorate for Christmas. But in the last couple years, I've been trying to decorate more for other seasons as well. Not just holidays, although the equinox is a holiday if, you celebrate. So I didn't want to go out and just buy new decorations because there's a spectrum, and on one side they are way overpriced and on the other side they're super cheap and tacky, and so I didn't want either of those. And so I thought I would just make some decorations. So this is an origami pumpkin. Oh, and I forgot to add like a little stem. You can use either a little strip of paper, or you can, I was looking here to see if I had like a twig, but you need like a stem. That's the last thing I forgot, and paper, and either glue or double-sided tape, and possibly scissors. Now, you can use any type of paper. Oh, and before I continue, you might be thinking, decorating your house with origami pumpkins, how can you do that? Well, stick around for the end of the video because I'll give you some ideas of how you can use this. And actually, I realized after I made this one, because this is with decorated paper, this was with a 6x6 sheet of, I got a flower project going on over here. This is a 6x6 sheet of scrapbook paper. I don't know if it's really cardstock. It's definitely thicker than printer paper. So it's a little trickier to fold because the thicker you get, the harder it is to fold. But after I made this one and it looked so pretty and I inked the edges, I realized this could be an embellishment in a fall themed junk journal. You just glue it right down to your page. You could even turn it into a pocket. You could maybe cut off this top flap that's folded and then just glue these down, and then you have a little pumpkin pocket. So, but that's not what I'm using these for presently. So stick around for the end of the video and I'll show you. So for your supplies, you will need some kind of paper. This is construction paper. And like I said, you can use scrapbook paper or cardstock. It's just harder to fold. So paper, oh, and you can use printer paper. I made several of these for a decor idea that I will show you at the end of the video. So you can use plain printer paper and then paint it. That's what I did. So I'll show you that at the end. Oh, and then you will need some kind of either bone folder or your scissors to make sure all the edges are down nice and snug. So let's get into it. Oh, and coffee or tea or water. That's the most important supply, right? Okay. So you want your sheet to be a square. So if you don't have a square piece of paper, this is how you make it into a square. You just take one of the corners, fold it over, fold it up, make sure these edges are aligned as close as possible. Now, if you are like me and you tend to be a little OCD-ish about edges and lines being straight and even, if you're like me, don't worry about this being perfect, because we will, if there's any edges sticking out at the end, just trim it off. So as we're going, don't worry about it being perfect, because we will fix it in the end. So just take a deep breath and ignore the unevenness for now. I promise we will fix it. And actually, so what you can do now at this point, you can either cut this, you can do what I used to do in church when we would make things like this to pass the time. You can fold this down and then lick it and it'll tear easily. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to take my ruler, line it up on this edge, and tear. Like I said, you can use scissors, but for some reason I cannot cut in a straight line. I don't know why. It's just not a gift that I have. I'm just gonna clean this edge a little bit because it's the only edge that's torn, and that is fine. Okay, so now we have this one diagonal line. We want to create another one. We're gonna make several lines here. I hope I remember how to do this. I made like 10 of them yesterday, so I should remember. It's funny because I made 10 of them with printer paper, and then I made this one late last night and I forgot how to do it. It took me a hot minute to remember the steps. And then I think we fold this way. So first you fold to make a diagonal X, and then we make rectangular, well, I guess it's not an X, it'll be a cross. So fold it both ways on the rectangular line. So how are you guys doing? I hope you're all having a wonderful week. We went from having a heat wave to now being back to hoodie weather, so you can definitely feel the fall in the air. So I hope this comes through on camera. We have the cross, the rectangular crosses in the middle, and then the diagonal lines. So it's crossed this way and this way. Now you want to refold it back into a triangle, and then, let me see, take one of the corners of the triangle and just pop it up to fold like that. So because of all of the folds that we just did, it kind of naturally goes that way. It might take a little bit of, you know, finessing it over, but it really just falls into place because of all the folds. So you start here, bring this to the middle, and then flip it over and do that again on this side. Let's see, you want all of those to stay down. Okay. So now we have a square. Okay. So it should look like this if you know, open it. Now let's see. What is next? I think we take So here is the closed side of the square and this is the open side. It doesn't really matter which way you lay it, but you want to fold, you're not going to fold this way away from the closed side. You want to fold this in from the open side. I hope that makes sense. So it's open here and we're folding this flap. I realized what I did wrong. So instead of folding these flaps this way, you fold it this way. Okay. I can't believe I forgot how to do this. I made so many of them yesterday. Okay, so again, this is our square. Fold one, because you have two flaps on either side. So fold one over, fold it in this way, and then fold it this way, and then fold it over. Now you might have some bubbling. Your edges are realigning as you fold and maneuver the paper, but that's okay. And so then we do the same on this side. Fold that in and then fold this in. My paper up here tore a little bit, but that is okay. Okay, now make sure everything is down nice and snug. Okay, now basically what you want to do, all you do to make this shape is fold these corners. So let me see, I think I want this to be the top, and I want, now there's no particular amount to how much you fold these over, but how much you fold them, like how far you fold them, will determine your shape. So this one is slightly more, it's a square-ish, but I think it's a little bit wider than it is tall, so it's like a little bit rectangular. If you want it more, if you want the pumpkin to be a little more short, then you would fold these more. Or if you want it to be taller, then you would only fold the top and bottom a little bit. So it's totally up to you. Like, you can make a couple, play around with it and see how they turn out based on how much you fold. So I think I want the bottom to be folded a little bit more than the top. So I'm using this closed side as the bottom in case I end up wanting to cut this off. You don't want to cut this closed side because this is where all the paper is, the sheet is connected. I think it would probably unravel if you were to cut that off. So I'm using this open side as the top in case I want to cut it off, you know, and turn it into a pocket or something. I'm just gonna try to flatten that out a little bit more. And then I'm only gonna fold, let's see, I want it to be a little bit, maybe a little smaller, almost the same size. So you see this triangle now is a little bit bigger than this side. You can make them the same if you want. You can, like, I think with one of the ones I made yesterday, I measured and I made sure each fold was the same size, but it just took too long. It was a little too much work. I wanted to just make them and see how they turned out. And that's kind of fun too, because unless you measure, they're all going to turn out a little different. Like the shapes will be a little different. And so now you have a pumpkin. So as promised, see these edges don't line up quite right. That's fine. We are just going to trim those off. These scissors, I need to clean them. I think they have glue stuck to them. Gonna clean up these edges. And now you want your either your glue or double-sided tape. Okay, and we're just gonna tape these flaps down. Now on this open side, you will need another piece of tape to hold these all together. Okay, so should I do a little stem? I think I'm gonna wait. All you would do to make a stem is just cut a little, you know, rectangular piece. You could either use a different color of paper, or actually, for the sake of this being a full tutorial, let's do it, but I am going to ink it because I want it to be a different color. But that's basically it. You have your pumpkin now. And like I said, you can use this as an embellishment in a fall themed junk journal. You can turn it into a pocket. You can, let's see. I will show you in just a minute what I did with them. Another idea that I didn't do, but you could make a bunch of these. You could even do them in different colors. If you have different colors of construction paper, and you could punch a hole in them and string them on some twine and have use them as a garland, and you could hang them from your mantle or, you know, near your front door. Actually, before I attach that, I wanted to ink this whole thing. Okay, now I will attach. I want it a little crooked. There we go. So now you have your pumpkin. And like I said, you can make a bunch of these, string them to make a garland. You can use double-sided tape and stick them to your window. Like if you have a front window that you want to decorate for fall. Now I will show you what I did with them. I turned them into, let me zoom out. A sign of sorts. So what I did to make these were all just plain white printer paper or copy paper. I made them the same way we made this, and then I painted them with some metallic acrylic paint, some gold, Venetian gold. So I painted them once they were folded, and then I had this canvas just painted it black, and then I hot glued these down to the canvas. And so now I can, you know, hang it in my entryway or something. Put it next to another sign and that, you know, says something fall related. So I tried to arrange them to look like one big pumpkin, you know. I hope that comes through. I liked the way it turned out. Someone else might think it looks tacky or cheesy, but I was happy with it. So let me know if you try this for your fall decor. Let me know in the comments if you use them in the same way, or if you know, string them to make a garland, or let me know if there's something else that you come up with that I didn't think of, another way to use these as home decor for getting into the season of fall. So I hope you have fun with this. Like I said, let me know. I'm curious to see what other uses you come up with for these little pumpkins. So happy fall and have a great week. I'll see you next time.